Main match, we go to Highbury for Arsenal against Derby County.
McFarlane is right there, being barged off the ball, in fact, but still getting it across. McClintock away, and Gemma with a shot, saved there instinctively, I think, by Wilson, but saved nonetheless. And now Hinton turning it in again.
And our studio guest today is George Armstrong of Arsenal, probably having his best spell since he joined the club, and he'll be talking to Jimmy Hill. But now it's time for the action and the first visit of the big match this season to Highbury. Arsenal against Derby County, and while Arsenal have consolidated their good form of last season, Derby have slipped badly, and here they face a task as formidable as any in the First Division. Because Arsenal, unbeaten at home, again field a settled side, a side in which Ray Kennedy, with 12 goals, has taken so much of the glory. But alongside Kennedy and forming a dangerous spearhead for the Arsenal this season is John Radford. Here's Radford, whose form has never been better. As for Derby County, they've been plagued by injury, and Terry Hennessy here has had more than his share. Now most of those injuries have cleared up, and one man who will have his work cut out today is Roy McFarlane, their young number 5. In the Highbury crowd, Scottish team manager Bobby Brown on the left with Wally Barnes. He'll be watching men like O'Hare, Kelly and Graham.
Well, it seems that the shouting match on the terrace has got a little more warmth and passion to it than the match on the pitch itself. But here's Radford. And a break by Armstrong, and McFarlane getting there first, and Kelly going in! Kelly! Oh, great piece of opportunism by Eddie Kelly! The pace of Kelly really made that one as he pounced on that pass back, took it round Les Green, and quickly found the back of that Derby County net to put Arsenal ahead. Armstrong with Derby claiming that he was offside, but the linesman keeping his flag down. Armstrong still going on and just failing to poke that one through by the near post. While Derby were waiting and half appealing, Armstrong was going on, and 3 men converging on him just to prevent him scoring. Rice. Armstrong. I think Arsenal's best chance at the moment is to play as strongly as possible on Armstrong, who seems to have the pace and the skill to take on his fullback and beat him. Here's Armstrong again, beating him once more, and almost getting that across, and certainly getting a corner as 2 men came in quickly, Mackay and Gemmell. But Armstrong seems the best possible way for Arsenal to find a way through this Derby defence at the moment. Roberts again gone to that near post. Here's the corner. Roberts looking for it, and Kennedy couldn't quite turn it back, and my goodness! With Green at one side of his goal, Graham very nearly turned that over his shoulder and dribbled it in by the near post. Mackay getting it away off the line. That's for O'Hare. Oh, McClintock going on. And McClintock with a shot that's wide. Well, we used to see a lot of that sort of thing from McClintock when he was a midfield player. But that's the first time I've seen him go forward into a shooting position for Arsenal this season. Arsenal's throw. George Graham. That's aimed towards Radford. Up he goes! Oh, Radford! My goodness, what a leap! Beautifully timed there. The cross from Graham. And Radford leaping superbly to time it and head it into that Derby net for number 2. Rice back to Wilson. And now it has come to Armstrong. Beating Derby, a little flick there wide of Hector. Beautiful play. This is much better now from Arsenal. McNabb, Radford, McNabb. Turned there under that crossbar and pushed away by Green. Oh, a really brilliant move there by Arsenal. Begun as so many things this afternoon have been begun by George Armstrong, the number 7. Hinton to take it. O'Hare waiting, Hennessy making a burst as well. McFarlane is right there, being barged off the ball, in fact. but still getting it across. McClintock away, and Gemma with a shot, saved there instinctively, I think, by Wilson, but saved nonetheless. And now Hinton turning it in again, and pushed away by Peter Storey.
Now let's meet our guest, George Armstrong. And let me tell you first of all how he came to be our guest. We went into the Arsenal dressing room at the end of the match yesterday and asked the players who they would most like to see from their team on the programme today. Unanimously, they plumped for George Armstrong, saying his form over the last couple of months has been fabulous. Here's George with Jimmy Hill.
Well, George, that's praise indeed from your own teammates.
To thank the lads myself on Monday, I think.
You won't share the fee with them, will you?
No, not at all, no.
George, how long have you been at Arsenal?
Well, this is my 10th season now, Jimmy.
And how do you feel the club has progressed in that time? I mean, are Arsenal as great now, as good as they've ever been?
Well, in that time I've certainly seen good individuals, but this team at the present time is the best I've played in.
What is there about the team that makes it extra special?
Well, just the spirit in the team. Everybody's fighting for one another. And that's about it. You know, they've got faith in each other, and there's a lot of skill in the team actually as well.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because some Arsenal fans feel that there still isn't enough skill in the middle of the field. Do you think there is skill there?
Well, I suppose every team's got room for improvement, but at the moment I can't see anybody getting our team at the moment, you know.
What about your passing movements? Do you think you're building those gradually? They're getting better as time goes on?
We can pass as good as anybody on the day. It just depends on which defence lets you do it.
Yeah.
Derby, I thought, in the first 35 minutes yesterday played great, especially Dave Mackay.
But what about when you got your confidence? Your passing then improved, do you think?
Yeah, so I've never thought we were a bad, team for passing. You know, we've always been very good at it. In fact, George Graham and myself and Bob McNabb, we've got such a good understanding that just like clockwork now, really.
Mm. You talk about when you were a young boy. What about the young boys in the Arsenal team now? Do you see them great futures for them?
Oh, great players. Ray Kennedy, Eddie Kelly. Well, Charlie George is injured, but all these lads are great players. Pat Rice even playing at fullback's having a great season.
And John Roberts, who's made immense progress over here.
Well, John, I think he surprised really everybody. You know, playing tremendous. I've never seen a centre forward have a good game against him yet, and he's played against some of probably the best in the country at the moment. You know.
Well, I think George, you must take, along with the other Arsenal experienced players, Frank McClintock and the others, credit for helping them improve alongside you.
Well, this is it, Jim. You know, you've got to have faith in everybody, and Frank especially has given the lads some encouragement. In fact, all the experienced players have been moulding around the young ones and have done great with them.
George, thank you very much indeed. I wish you another 10 years in football.